sunrise on News Radio 880 KCMX.
Everybody, welcome back to this program. Thrilled to welcome Mark Weinstein, and he's just an amazing individual. He's a social networking pioneer, award-winning author, founder of MeWe. Get to the website MeWe.com, and I'll tell you, when it comes to internet security and the Fourth Amendment, unbelievable. Mark has knocked it out of the park. He's a steering committee member of the National Strategy for Trusted Identities in Cyberspace and named Privacy by Design Ambassador for the Information and Privacy Commissioner on, Ontario, Canada. Of course, 650 different radio station interviews around the world. And Mark, it's a privilege, honor to have you on. And I don't even know where to start, Mark, but welcome to the program.
Greg, it's great to be here. It's great to be here. And, you know, I love social media. Listen, I'm one of the pioneers, right? I almost, I'm really one of the inventors of it back in 1998, although Friendster was before. And I'm back with this thing called MeWe. But, it's like people are like, we're all kind of freaking out. We're going, what in the world is going on? Why does Facebook need to know what I had for breakfast, not just when I post it to my friends, but for their records? And why does Facebook track me at 1,200 of the top 2,500 sites in the USA?
Yeah, their stats are unbelievable. And what's interesting, we were just talking off air about every app on your phone, when you go to launch it, when you're first setting it up on your phone, even they say, would like to use your location as you use the app, yes or no? And you're going, what? But most folks don't even pay attention. And so the GPS, like you said, is just the tip of the iceberg. You've just written a story. Of course, you're on the Huffington Post tech blogger, and this latest article, U.S. Marshals and their dirt box declare the Fourth Amendment dead. Please explain that.
Oh, my gosh, it's really incredible. And here's what's really amazing, too, is the story should be, headlines. Everybody should be talking about this. It was revealed just on Thursday night last week that the U.S. Marshals are actually tracking us, across the USA. They're flying planes around areas that cover most of the United States population. They're using what we call dirt boxes. And what a dirt box is, it's a technological box that acts like a fake cell phone tower. So all of our phones report into this dirt box, and it tells the box, where we are, what time of day, where we are, because it's tracking our phones everywhere around the country. So, and it's not even a cell tower; it's pretending to be a cell tower. So it's duping our phones into reporting in.
This is I talk about the U.S. Constitution all the time, and Mark, you had a great phrase when we were talking off air about how it took 100,000 Americans to rise up and let their voices be heard with the Department of Veterans Affairs, and what happened with our hospitals and our veterans. And you said, what was the phrase?
Well, listen, that's probably what it takes to get people noticed, and this is what democracy is all about, right? Democracy is all about us taking a stand and making noise. And this is the great thing about democracy, right? We can stand up and say, hey, wait a minute. This isn't right. This is a violation of the Constitution. And in participant democracy, the government had better take notice.
Well, and I think it was that participatory, I'm not saying it right, democracy. It was just awesome, because that's what it takes. And you know what? This latest thing with Jonathan Gruber calling the American people stupid,
listen, and we're not. But the thing is that we're sort of dumbed down into thinking that convenience is what life is all about. And so, we miss, when we're using Facebook and Google and Yahoo, we actually don't realize that, oh, wait a minute, we're not the customer, we're the product. So they're just data scraping, everywhere. I don't know if you saw the piece that I wrote about Google, earlier last week. It's just incredible what Google's done. I said, there's Eric Schmidt, Is he Robin Hood or is he the big bad wolf? If you look at what Google knows about us, why, they just bought a satellite company. They can watch everything we're doing. It's unbelievable. So we've got to really stand up and notice, and we've got to make choices, because this is not what our great democracy is all about.
No, and it's great that you're out there trumpeting the charge on this, Mark. I mean, so what can people do when they, because it is an onslaught. We're hammered. I mean, when you look at the credit card fraud and the hacking, your heart must just break when you see numbers like 56 million people's credit card numbers and identities, and then Target releases out that the email addresses were taken as well.
Yeah, no. And part of what's happening, Craig, this is really interesting, and so for our listeners, I want everybody just to kind of snap to it. We all want to wake up and not be numbed out by all this information every day about the violations of our privacy, because I will tell you guys, and everybody who's listening knows, that if our grandparents heard any of this stuff, any of the news stories today about our violations of privacy, the whole country would be in revolt. And it's time for us to stand up and take actions. And it's real. This is great. What's great about capitalism and democracy together is that we can take actions. We can start new companies. We can take actions while we're also, challenging the courts and our legislators to make changes. Now, I'm not sure that our legislators are going to make changes, because money poisons the system. So Google and Facebook and Yahoo and those guys are lobbying all of the lawmakers. But the Federal Trade Commission, Commissioner Ramirez, she's taking note, and we've got to take actions by what companies that we use.
Unbelievable. We've got Mark Weinstein on with us this morning. We've got to take a quick little break. We'll be right back. More on the Sunrise Show. Unbelievable. I want to talk about his website, MeWe.com. Ladies and gentlemen, just a pioneer in social networking. Mark Weinstein is on the phone with me. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Now, back to Sunrise on News Radio 880 KCMX. Shout, shout, I'm talking to you, so come on.
Good morning, everybody. 48 minutes after the hour. Welcome back. We're continuing with Mark Weinstein, a pioneer in social media, and his newest creation, MeWe.com. And it's just fascinating because, Mark, you want to give people an option, something else to go that can protect themselves. And you were just telling me something this. 60 Minutes reported this 9 months ago that the media, not the media, but the entire listening conglomeration has over 1,500 data points on each one of us.
I know. That's amazing. Now, 1,500 points of data. And when you look at that, Craig, so, for example, the Wall Street Journal did an investigative reporter, and they said, well, what does Google know about us? An investigative report. And so one of the reporters said, I wonder what Google knows about me. And so he looked, he looked online and he did some research, and he's a great reporter. So listen to this. Google knows all 134,966 of his emails and every topic he's talked about in them. They know his 2,700 contacts, his 9,220 YouTube videos he's ever watched. They know his passwords. They know all the 64,000 searches he's ever done, by topic, by category, everything. It's all organized in a packet. They know all of his documents. They know all of his locations. Now, that's what Google knows. Now, that's really not protected, even though they claim they don't share it, but of course they do with these data brokers. This is how data brokers get all this information, and this is why Facebook tracks you all around the web, and we've got to do something about it.
It's massive, and of course the difference is on MeWe, you're not. Nothing is being monitored because the user owns it, correct?
Well, not only does the user own it, but there's something called tracking cookies, all kinds of devices people use to track and monitor their members. We use none. You own your personal information. We have no tracking cookies. You control permission. Strangers can never see your stuff. But you're able to connect with your friends, your family, your coworkers. And, your likes and loves are for you and your friends. Like, we don't watch what you like. Facebook has so ruined the word like and the word friends. And your face is your business. We don't use facial recognition, all this stuff. And you can delete your account anytime you want. Take it with you. Now, that's our Privacy Bill of Rights. We also have a poison pill in our privacy policy, and our privacy policy has been tweeted about because it's short and simple, and it tells the truth. And the Canadian government has given me a wonderful award for our site as Ambassador of Privacy by Design. So stay in touch, right? You want to stay in touch with everybody. I love technology, but not the creepy stuff. So MeWe is for great communication with privacy you trust.
It's amazing, Mark. And here's the one thing. You said this. It just blows my mind. Tell our listeners about the metadata and not finding, in 13 years, not finding one bad guy. Tell us about that.
Okay, all right. So listen, everybody, because we want to sort this out and keep it simple in our minds. So, after 9/11, there's this whole bulk telephony metadata program, which means that, and we've all heard about this, they're spying on all our phone records, everything. It's called the Section 215 Bulk Telephony Metadata Program. Now, I was just listening to James Dempsey. He's a key member of the Privacy and Civil Liberties Oversight Board, which is in charge of oversight of the nation's counterterrorism programs. Here's what he said. The Section 215 Bulk Telephony Metadata Program, after 13 years of spying and data collection, has not uncovered one bad guy we did not already know about.
You're speechless.
Right.
This is exactly like what's going on with TSA.
So, listen, here's the thing. We love our democracy. We love our law enforcement. We love being safe. We love, our military, our law enforcement. And it's just that their resources are being pointed in directions, too many resources going in places that aren't helpful and are violating our rights. And there has always been a way for law enforcement to, there's carefully established protocols and processes for them to track the bad guys. They go to courts and get warrants. They can request information from companies about established or suspected criminals. So they don't need to spy on everybody.
No, I mean, it's just now, of course, how do you have oversight and coming down from, Congress, and what next, Mark? How can people do what they need to do to get the message back up to Congress that, hey, clamp down on this?
Well, first of all, everybody, we've got to remember that privacy is not about, so throw away any statement in your mind that I'm not doing anything wrong, so I don't care, because that's the wrong thought. You want to think that privacy and freedom are critical to democracy. It's what the Fourth Amendment is about. 240 years ago, in 1792, when they, 225 years ago, when they, ratified the Fourth Amendment. This is what it's about. So, you've got to realize that, and the president of Brazil just said this, privacy and freedom, you can't have democracy without them. So we're allowed to have our thoughts, our religious preferences, our political beliefs. We're allowed to say anything we want. The privacy of our homes, it's our business. And the privacy of the Internet, it's our business. So go to MeWe. Share with your family, your friends, your coworkers. Go to sites like MeWe, M-E-W-E. Use DuckDuckGo or StartPage for your search engines. Get away from Google. DuckDuckGo is a great American company. StartPage is a European company. They're really cool. Use PayPal to protect your credit cards, everybody. Put a firewall between your credit card and the bad guys. PayPal hasn't been hacked yet that I'm aware of. And just pick one credit card and use PayPal. It's a much smarter way to do it.
Excellent.
We've got to be smart.
Excellent. Mark, it's amazing. We could go on because, like I said, with your pioneering spirit, you've done so much, seen so much, and you're just a dog on a bone with this stuff. I love it, and just getting the word out. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Weinstein, a founder of MeWe and so many other things. It's a pioneer spirit I love, and Mark, it's great to have you on the program this morning.
Thank you, Craig. Practice safe sharing, everybody. Let's MeWe together.
That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. More on the Sunrise Show after this.